Hey guys, welcome back. I think it's June 10th, update number 7 in the Hugelkultur Garden series. We also have a kitchen garden downstairs that has same principles, but for today we're just going to look at a little bit of update, see how things are growing. It's been a little while, I apologize. Things get a little hectic around the household, but here we are. Let's see, we're starting to finish out with our early spring crops. The cabbage has been harvested. The plants are still there. I'll probably pull and drop. So we'll have some composting mulch, so to speak, in the garden. Strawberries are doing well. Obviously, I'm not going to pull those plants out. They'll reoccur. They're annuals. They're doing good. Broccoli, still producing, but it's getting to the point where we need to probably cut those back and start putting in some of the summer crops. The mustard's going to seed. The Chinese cabbage is going to seed. The lettuce will be going to seed. It's crazy tall. It's probably about 3 or 4 feet tall. But the peppers are coming into their own. We got some celery. The garlic looks great. Tomatoes are coming into their own. They have flowers and fruit on them. They'll be ready for harvest in the next couple weeks, and hopefully that'll go through at least October, maybe early November. The Hugelkultur bed is doing well, but again, I think I just mentioned that we haven't had any significant rain in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, and I think it's time to put a little bit of water into the garden. I think it's where I made a little mistake here in the Hugelkultur bed. It's done very well, and you can see that we have substantial growth since the last update, but there are some plants that just should be bigger, and I think it's because the soil was retaining a lot of heat, and it had about a 3-inch to 2-inch layer where it was sort of dry and it wasn't dissipating the heat. So I think that was my mistake of not watering it more often in the get-go. I think the compost manure mix that I bought, also being in dark color, was absorbing a lot of heat. Watered that. It took a substantial amount of water, so I don't think I'm gonna have to water that too often. Again, I think if we would have had a traditional garden, I would have lost all these tomatoes. I think all these plants, well, maybe not all of them, but a good portion of them would not have made it for the 2-week period without any water. Like I said, I haven't watered. You know, you see this, the circle hose, it actually has broke or split, so I haven't used it. I'm not going to pull it up because of it's just amongst the plants and it's just more of a headache. I'll wait until the end of the season, but I'll show it to you that the hose is broken. I haven't used this soaker hose all season, maybe in the beginning, but nothing substantial in the last 2 months. I have some soybeans, just throw that out there. I think everything looks good. The other thing, look at the video on the ultimate animal critter repellent brew. That seems to have done the trick. You notice? No offense. Big woods. And we have deer around here, but nothing has touched the garden as of yet. So we'll continue to spray it back in the woods. Right in there is where I usually put it, and around the border. Again, don't spray that on the food. But I'm actually going to come up with another concoction without the main ingredient, and I think I'm just going to add some blood meal and maybe actually spray it on around the plants a little bit closely. The only thing I've had problems with is the caterpillars, and I've had some snails, and they've initially had decimated the cabbage and had to maybe that's a little extreme, but they really did nail the cabbage pretty good. I've put out some iron pellets, but I haven't been consistent on it. But if I was a little bit more consistent with the little iron pellets that I got at Lowe's, that they would have eliminated a substantial amount of the problems. But we have had the caterpillars, and maybe if we put the new repellent on there, maybe the caterpillars won't be as interested in the cabbage and broccoli and whatnot. But we're looking good. Well, this is hopefully just a short break update. I think we're going to end in about for a total of 5 minutes. If you guys have any questions, comments, please put them down at the bottom. Still, the hugelkultur.com is in its infancy. I've switched it over. It should hopefully be up and running in the next month or two, depending on how things are going. But I'm happy with the garden, and I think it's going to be cool. We're going to start planting some of the summer crops and go from there. All right, guys. Thanks for visiting, and we'll talk to you later. Later.